fellow limitless, sexy, sassy, saucy HBICs. How you doing on this lovely morning, afternoon, or evening? How are you all? How's it going? It's Tuesday. I'm recording a little bit later than I wanted to, but like I've been saying, I'm trying to get coaching calls in, especially people that have, whatever, I'm not going to overtalk. Trying to get as many in as I can before Christmas. Yeah. And I have several of you waiting to be scheduled. I'm coming. I'm getting you in. I am. Don't panic. Don't panic. If you need help figuring out what's going on between you and your manifestation, please feel free to email me at manifestingwithkimberly@gmail.com. All of my coaching options are in the Dropbox below. They're in the screens. It just went by. I have a channel membership where I go live with my channel members every single Tuesday. My hair is bugging me, but also the lighting's bugging me. So we go live together tonight. I am having TikTok and Instagram. I would love for you to join me there. If you're new here, hi, I'm Kimberly, Manifesting with Kimberly. And I would love for you to subscribe and give me a like on this fucking video because it's Christmas and the likes get my videos out there. And we need to help people get their manifestations. Damn it, I didn't want my bag in the thing. I'm wearing my apron because I'm trying to, in between calls, get batches of cookies done because Christmas is this weekend. And speaking of Christmas, our Christmas public live is tomorrow night. Be going live with everyone. I'm going to open my Christmas presents from you guys. And what else? It'll come to me. Try not to make this a wicked long video. This video, not sure what the title is yet, but it's going to be about revision because number one, we are still doing our revision challenge, which, you know, it was to Christmas, but we can keep it going to New Year's. I'm fine with that. The idea was to have everybody revising their day before they fall asleep, or if there's any previous experiences that you wanted to revise, this was the time to do it, man. This was the time. You know, revising your day is simply, quickly, going over anything that happened throughout the day that you didn't like. You could revise it to your benefit, or if you're manifesting a specific person and maybe you're in no contact with that person, you would revise your day that you spent the whole day with your person, just like Mrs. J.E. did in the Neville Goddard success story. Yes? Okay. So this is just a reminder, like, listen, don't be giving up on that. Christmas is not until Sunday. It's plenty of time for a manifestation to pop in. Are you kidding me? I've seen shit so quick. It's just insane. But I want people to really listen to me. Revision is an amazing tool that sincerely works. It sincerely works. For any of you who are struggling to believe that revision does anything more than just change your own personal feelings and experiences around a previous experience, you are very wrong. And I say that from love, not being mean to you. You are dead ass wrong. But because you believe that, it will be true in your reality for you. So you won't have the joys of revising something and experiencing the changes within your 3D because of that. It's because of your belief. But you are so wrong and you are so ripping yourself off. To the rest of you who believe and are listening, you can revise anything. 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 Now you take that and you weigh, I'm putting it down, you take it. Anything. So don't sell yourself short. Also, any of you struggling to understand states of consciousness, which is predominantly what I talk about on this channel, predominantly, because your state is who you are, who you identify yourself as. Look at it as like a costume. It's what role are you playing today? Well, today I'm playing the role of Kimberly, who's in a loving, fulfilling, committed relationship, probably the best relationship of her entire life, where she's literally being treated like a queen, cherished, loved, adored, all the special things, right? She's living her dream life in all categories. That's who this Kimberly is today, because that's the state I'm in. That's who I am saying I am. It's not about being perfect, though. If I fall out of that fucking state, that's okay. I can work my way back there. That's the mentality we should be having, right? We don't have to be perfect to manifest. I'm just saying that. But that's what your state is. Your state is who you are, who you think you are, because that's how we manifest, bitches. We manifest by who we think we are, who we believe we are, not what our 3D is telling us, who we think we are now. But this is about revision. And the reason why I brought all of that up is because if you're struggling to understand what states of consciousness are, use revision to help you. Because revision can, just like affirmations, scripting, visualizing, any fucking tool or technique around manifesting, revision is a key tool that you can use to also help you shift your state. And let me explain why. If you're not new here, you already know what I'm about to say. If you are new here and you're new to manifestation, each state has its own self-concept, which is its own beliefs and assumptions, its own experiences, its own manifestations. Don't go logical. Your mind just went logic. Don't go logic. Come back to me. Come back. Each state has that. Each state does. So when you shift your state, all this baggage, shit thinking, shit beliefs don't follow you. That's the beauty of shifting your state. But when you're struggling to accept that it can be that easy, and I know some of you are struggling with it, and I know that, okay? And I understand that because, like, at one time, I didn't understand the states either. I thought they were too good to be true, to be honest. And, so no judges. It doesn't help that there are misinformed people also making manifestation videos. It doesn't help. And so that's not even your fault, right? But they're misinformed and they're teaching from a perspective that it just can't be that simple. Well, you got to do your shadow work. You have to do all your healing in order to become a newer person. No, you don't. And no, you don't have to fix your self-concept. You don't. It's a decision moment by moment. But when you're struggling to accept that, that's where revision can come in, because you can utilize revision to help revise some of the experiences that are keeping you in this glued mindset so we can shift you. Whether you think you're shifting or not, you are. We should be revising as many things as possible in our lives. Now, I don't mean overwhelm yourself with revision. I don't mean that. But any of us who have ever had traumatic experiences, and I believe, and on my channel, the practice is what you deem is traumatic is relevant to you. We do not judge. We do not look at each other here and say, well, that's not that big of a deal. That's not really traumatic. It's per person. It's relevant per person. So if you've had traumatic experiences, I've had traumatic experiences. And I'll be honest, I didn't want to revisit any of them. But if we're not focused and not looking at the who we are and trying to shift our state, those previous experiences, although they do not have to define you, those are the reasons why sometimes we find it hard to believe. Now, I'll use an example with myself. I had a traumatic experience with a specific person. This was before I knew about manifestation, and I was in my younger years. I had a traumatic experience that shook me to my core. I don't often talk about it. It was not something that I wanted to bother revising because I was over it. That's still not hurting me. I'm not even angry with the person. I have forgiven the person. I have very much moved on with my life. But because of that experience, and this is all before I really comprehended the massive importance of your state, I struggled with comparing any person I was in a relationship with from that point on. I struggled with always comparing them to that scenario. And if they did anything that reminded me of that person, I couldn't help myself but to start going down into a spiral of fearful, negative thoughts. And I, without a shadow of a doubt, believe it was me revising the experience. And I'm going to dabble it because I know some of you are questioning, well, then how do you still believe it or still remember it? I'm going to go there. Just 1 second. I had to revise that. And to be honest, most of the details, the specific details are muddied, which is where I'm going to go in a minute. But I had to do that in order to help me shift out of that state of being the girl that was forever insecure around this particular subject area. I said, I'm not telling you all you have to go on this long term, going through every year of your existence revising. I'm not trying to tell you that. But if you know there are specific experiences that you've had in your life that you know are coming up, maybe not the direct memory of the experience, but the reason why you might have a belief or an assumption around love relationships, around money, around, if you're into men, around men, if you're into women, around women. And you know that these particular experiences cause that. You don't have to go back and sit and marinate in those memories. You can still revise, and you can use a simple, losing my words, a revision affirmation, which is a generalized affirmation. For example, if you had trauma in your childhood, specific traumas, it's not going to hurt you to start affirming that you always experienced joy in your childhood. Your childhood was always a safe and secure environment, existence, whatever. Not to make you go revisit things. And also, there is a thing of maybe you're just not ready yet, and that's okay too. It's not going to stop you from manifesting, but I do have a belief that the more you can shed, the more open you become. The more open you become, the more amazing states you enter. When you free yourself of old shit, even if it's just through a simple affirmation, and always, my life was always, my relationships have always, examples like that. The more you shed off of you and just say, no, that's not me anymore. The more we do this, the more open to transcendence, to evolving, to shifting into states that right now in this moment, you can't even imagine how fucking amazing that they are. And I'm talking from experience. So revision, don't just blow it off. No one should be walking around with heaviness, baggage, when we don't have to. You don't have to. It can be so freeing and life-changing. If you're still struggling to understand states and you haven't gone over to my community tab and gone to my states posting where you're free to leave a question that I will make a video over, please do. Because I want everyone to understand the importance of states. And my God, it can be life-changing and it can be quick life-changing. It can, and it is magical. It is magical. So enjoy it. But if you're struggling to accept, revision can help. And revision can be utilized in so many ways. You can go back to previous experiences and we can rewrite them, yes, to your outcome. For example, if you had a shitty breakup in the past and this person did something really crummy, like, I don't know, left you stranded somewhere and just never came back again, you could revise, right? That not only did they show up, they showered you with love and attention, and all your relationships have been, they end on your terms if they end. I'm saying the more we do things like that, we let go of old shitty life experiences, we free ourselves from it through vision. It can be so fucking life-changing. But you can go back to a previous experience and you can revise that. I used to enjoy writing it down. And because I could be snarky, sometimes I would write down the original memory, not all the details, just like, the day I was dumped by such and such person. And I'd put a big fat X through it, like, I'm getting rid of you, bitch. And then I'd rewrite it about what I'm saying really happened. This is what really happened. Okay? I call that like my scripting way of the long way to do revision. But you can also be revising on the spot. My lighting is getting worse and worse, and I'm sorry. I literally am being lit by my Christmas tree. You can also do revision on the spot, but you can also do on the spot revision for the past memories. Meaning, normally in the community, when we talk about on the spot revision, we're talking about when you are currently in a situation right now, maybe having a fight with your specific person, and they just called you, or, they just said to you, what is wrong with me? I cannot talk, okay? I've been making fucking snickerdoodles. And your specific person said, bitch, I don't want to see you anymore. I don't want to see you anymore. You would be in that moment saying, oh, no. You want to spend the rest of your life with me. What's that? You want to spend the rest of your life with me. Oh, okay. You want to spend the rest of your life with me. Of course you do. Of course you do. While they're blabbing over in the corner, you're changing what they're saying right in that moment. But there's also on-the-spot revision for old experiences. Meaning that when an old experience comes into your mind that we know we're revising, on the spot, as it comes up, no, that didn't happen. This is what fucking happened. That did not happen. Nope, I'm not in that reality. That never happened. This is what happened. So you can do on the spot, literally, for the past experience as well. Because remember, time is not linear. All timelines are in existence and happening right now. And I know that sounds woo-woo. I know it does, but it's the truth. Okay? So you can do it that way. There's never a reason to hang on. If you had a shitty day, you revise your day before you fall asleep. Don't cut yourself short because you're struggling to grasp whether revision is possible because it sounds illogical. And I know it does. Because we're not like hopping in the Back to the Future car and driving back and fixing shit. We're just doing it through our imagination. We're fixing a memory. But it's literally changing. Literally changing the 3D. And if you struggle to see it from that perspective, then open up your box a little and think of it from the perspective of, well, then you're hopping on a different timeline. Maybe the 3D doesn't have to catch up, but you're just hopping a timeline. I don't care which one you pick. Just don't cut yourself off from revision because you think it's too illogical. Logic doesn't belong in manifestation. And people that struggle to let go of the damn logic, God, they snuff out the magic of manifestation because they're stuck in logical 3D land. That's fucking boring. Boring. I'm so happy over here in Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, delusional, limitless, sexy, sassy, saucy land. Because I'm literally living out my dreams. And any one of you could do the same thing. Don't let logic ruin you. Don't let logic suck the fun out of your experience. If you're someone that wants to do shadow work and healing and all that shit, you go right ahead. If it works for you, you go right ahead. No judges. I'm just letting you know it's not a necessity. We can simply revise and move the fuck on into the reality we want to be in. Okay? And on that note, before it gets pitch black in here, I'm going to let you go. I'll see you tomorrow. Come on, we can do this. And tomorrow is Wednesday. And that's going to be the fun Christmas live stream tomorrow night. Okay? And on that note, I already said that. I'll see you tomorrow. Editing Kim here. I just realized that I left out one of the most important things I wanted to say is, my experience with revision. And, I know some of you struggle with the idea that you're just going to forget the original experience. And what I have seen with working with people and in my own experience, it's not that I have forgotten the original memory. It's just the memory of it has become muddied. And that's what I believe happens with most people. And why we have the ability to change it. Like I said, if you struggle thinking from the perspective of you're revising the memory, and we're going to let the 3D catch up to that revised memory, which is what's happening. Think of it from the perspective of we are hopping a timeline. You have switched realities. But in my experience, when I revised that original memory, even as I'm talking to you, some of the details I'm struggling to come up with. And that's because I revised. Yeah. So I meant to say that in the video. I forgot. So there you go. If you have any other revision questions, put it in the comments below and I'll come back with some answers. Okay.